welcome back. And we're getting ready to move into our final conversation for today as we find out more about the CMS complaint system. And we have with us, representing Credit Master System, Maurice Underwood, who is the owner. Good morning and welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning.
So this is, of course, a very interesting system that you have been working on for quite some time. Before we move into CMS itself, let's just talk a bit about the work of Credit Masters and some of the services that you do offer.
Well, Credit Master System is a collection agency. We've been collecting for over 20 years now. How I got into it, I was lending money, and so we were collecting for ourselves, and we're doing a good job, so people start asking us to collect. And there was my wife's cousin, Virginia Eccles, who was in Africa collecting, and so I said, come on over here and let's work for me and let's get a collection agency going. And it's been going uphill. We've worked with the larger companies and the smaller companies in the country, and we have a very good record, and it's growing.
Now over the course of the past 20 years, what you've essentially been able to do as well is to be able to gather information on people through this particular system. How has that been in terms of being able to follow and track people's credit history?
Well, what we do, it's nothing has to do with credit. We are dealing strictly with bad debt, and I'm going to tell you why. When you start a credit system entails quite a few things. You know, how much money you're making, where you work, and a whole lot of things. Only thing we want to do is make good and services move. I never thought about the person, long as you pay your bills, you know. I never thought about how much you make, are you qualified for this loan? No, I'll leave that for the big guys on a credit system. What we have is a very simple system. We made it very simple because we want to be able to take it across the CARICOM and the Caribbean. And we've had one or two people have called us from the Caribbean asking us about our system, and also a representative from the Caribbean Development Bank came by and he talked to me, and he said this is the perfect system for the Caribbean, and he asked me would I be on their board. This is strictly, what I'm trying to do is make Belize the light. With this system, we can make Belize the light manufacturing powerhouse of CARICOM.
Now, let's dissect this a bit, because I think if we are to look at the work that you originally do, continue to do, which is collecting on bad debt. Let's talk a bit about what you've learned through that experience. We can say, as a generalization, that a lot of Belizeans enter into credit agreements with banks and other financial institutions. We've had a proliferation of payday loans and other kind of quick access to cash as well. And a lot of people are heavily indebted in this country. And as a representative of Credit Masters, you are also now tasked with going to people to collect upon payments that are due, sometimes when they just don't have it. So I want to go back to your experience and how you get to be efficient in this process, and then how you use that to put into the system that you're currently creating.
Well, I started lending money. That was my primary job. And what I see, you don't put people in a corner, because right now, myself, I'm in debt. I had to take my hat off and talk to them at the bank. I've talked to them at the credit union, and so we don't press people or squeeze people. What we do is, if you owe, pay something. We have a plus and minus on our system. So a plus means that you owe, but you're paying. Negative means you just don't care, don't pay. And if you owe someone, just show that you're trying, because believe me, I know there's job loss, medical, and there's a lot of other things that we won't be. I won't be able to pay you. I know. I made
have to
plans.
pay rent
yeah,
before
I
I
got to
can
pay
pay a bill that's outstanding.
But
Yeah.
if you owe, say, you were paying $500, don't hide from a person. Just walk in, go in. I'm sorry, I'm having problems, and try to refinance. Try to get on a payment system that you can afford.
Okay. And then this idea of you call it the CMS complaint system.
Yes.
Where did it come from?
Just out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's essentially what we talk about in the States, for example, people rely on credit scores. In
Yes.
other words, you go into an institution, you want to be able to access something on credit,
Yes.
Work out a payment plan of some sort, and they will look at what we call your credit history. In other words, how good are you at paying back what you owe?
Yes.
Is this what you are trying to establish in Belize?
No, and I'm going to tell you why. Getting information, see, we are a very small country, and getting information from people you can't do. Because if you give me information to say, these are my good customers, I'm going to try to undercut you. I'm going to get in touch with your customers and say, look, I can give you a better deal than him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a problem getting a credit bureau like in the States or a developed country. But I found out that everyone has bad debts. So if you can only get lime, you make lime juice. And that's what we did.
So you're collecting the information of persons who have outstanding debts but are not paying towards it.
You see, we all in debt.
Yeah.
These are bad debts.
Yeah.
Bad debts, that means I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah.
And people turn them on us. And what we're doing is, it's a blockout system. When a business person look at it and say, but you don't pay your bills. So it's up to that. It's a more informed decision because by looking at this, you can say, well, I'm gonna have to charge you a little extra because you're a risk, or I decide not to do anything with you.
Let me ask a question here, and you will clarify accordingly if I'm way off target, but it's a question to ask nonetheless.
Please.
There was a point in time when the names of people who are in bad debt were published in the newspapers, for instance, where
I started that.
you were basically put on blast. You're behind on your debt, and we're trying to locate you or what have you. How has the change shifted from where these names are published in the newspapers or wherever else to now being able to go after these persons individually to try to either collect from them or to let them know how important it is for them to be up to date with their arrears?
Well, see, I quit putting people's name in the paper. Years ago I did that. It was a tactic and it worked for then. Now Belize is getting more sophisticated, and with computers, everyone uses a computer. You can put the same information and just have it available. Like I have businesses online, and they check my database, and it's working out better because it's not embarrassing. I'm not trying to embarrass anyone, but to keep our economy going, and that's the main key of this system. We have to have credit, and we have to have some type of system. And a system is designed to keep, we're like the traffic police. We keep the traffic of credit going, and the more credit we get, and the better it is traffic. I get the word, but the better it goes and flows, the better our country will be. Because what I'm trying to do is set up something that will create jobs, and we have a lot of young guns here, businessmen, that they just waiting for the opportunity. We have 370,000 people. What if we expanded that to 5 million? What do you think these young, there's a lot of things that we can do here that the whole Caribbean needs. We have a lot of things. We have the space. We have the land. We have everything. We even have a lot of water that a lot of Caribbean countries don't have. So we're in the perfect position. This is the first phase of our system. The first phase of our system is it's from consumer to the business.
Yeah.
The second phase will be from business to business, because what I would like to do through the Chamber of Commerce, go around the Caribbean, focusing on CARICOM,
Yeah.
and have it set up. And then the cap is credit.
Yeah.
We would like put credit far as if you get credit, we will guarantee it. And guaranteeing credit, that'll be a big thing, because people wouldn't mind giving credit. Seeing the more goods and service move, that'll mean more jobs, more
Yeah.
taxes, more everything.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. And it's working good. And I've worked with the banks, I've worked with the government, I've worked with
You name it.
you name it, we work
Now,
with.
let's be very clear about this so people can understand how it works. So you now have a compiled list of persons who have bad debt.
Yes.
Persons from Belize. Are we talking, is there a threshold that you use in terms of how much is owed
No,
for
we
how
don't.
long?
No, we don't.
Okay.
See, a businessman, he needs his money. See, what people don't realize how important it is for you to get your money. When we give credit, we believe in you.
Yeah.
And when you let us down, it's going to make us a little angry, and but we need our money. We need our money.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it is very clear. There's a mentality sometimes that if you have enough to give me, then you probably don't
Yes,
need it
of
back.
Yeah.
And we hear it, but so there is no threshold. So if somebody has an outstanding $200 bill with an institution for a couple of years and hasn't paid it back, they're officially on your list.
Well, they're
If
in
they
my
have been-
system.
yeah.
See, the system is, once a business turns over your name,
Yeah.
it stays in our system. But in the system, it goes from, after 6 years, it goes to an old debt. It goes to a different category.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have a formula in our system that it takes care of that.
So let's say your name has been turned over by an institution to Credit Masters.
Yes.
You go on this list. Let's just use a sum of $200. Somebody becomes aware of the fact, you seek out to be able to reclaim the funds. They pay it back. Are they then still on the list, or have they been removed?
They're upgraded.
They're upgraded.
You're upgraded.
So they're someone who once had bad debt but now in good standing. Is
Well,
it?
yeah, you're upgraded. We
Yeah.
upgraded you. What we do in your history of you. So I've had people had 8 complaints against them, but they paid all 8 of them.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing for the business sector to give us their bad debts, because you're study reminded when you're trying to get credit. They're like, you owe.
Yeah.
And this what it does is make people pay their bills.
Yeah.
It make people more conscious of paying their bills. See what happened? We're getting a loose credit system in Belize now, but that's not by accident. That is because Credit Master System has been pushing this. I remember 22 years ago, use a Social Security card, use a Social Security card. No one used Social Security card. Now, you have to have a Social Security card when you're doing credit, getting credit. So we're moving. It's not by leaps and bounds, but if money lasts, luck will change.
So now you have companies and financial institutions that are now accessing your system
Yes.
to find out how people are in terms of their financial standings or how they are paying back their debt.
Yes.
All right. And what is your hope in terms of being able to grow it? Now, this is a list that nobody wants to be on.
Yeah.
And they may come knocking on your
everyone-
door after this and say,
No, the whole thing is everyone is in it. I'm in it.
once you
Yeah.
have been able to access some kind of credit.
Well, what we do is if you haven't had any complaints, you are
Not on
just
it.
good.
Yeah.
You're in there, but it's good. People check, you register, you're in there, and it's good, and which is a good thing
Yeah.
because people see that, hey, they're in there, they're good, but
Yeah.
no problems, and that's a good thing.
Okay. So what is your hope to move towards the second phase of the system?
Well, it's going to cost. I brought IT person in from the States.
Okay.
And he looked at the system and told me, and I have a good IT person here, and I need about $250,000 to move to the next, the next phase. And so right now, I want to completely automate it. And there's a few things I'm working out, which I know will work out, but it's gonna work good. This is designed strictly for small countries. We've had people call us from Guatemala checking on people here.
Yeah.
We've had people call from Mexico. Matter of fact, we had a person call as far away as Europe checking on people. And that's a good thing to me because we need a system like this for the CARICOM because there's going to be a lot of people moving around in the region. And this here, you can keep track of them. You can't just go run up, burn your name out in one country, move to nothing, burn your name out. We're trying to, this will be great to stop that.
With the CARICOM single market and economy, which allows for the free movement of goods and services being provided by people across the region, I can see why such a database or such a system would be important. You find that someone may come from Jamaica, having been to Trinidad for the past several years, burnt all his financial bridges there, and then comes to Belize and wants to start a new life.
Yeah, and that's how people are doing. And people are, even in Belize, people, well, how did you know that? They get it, how did you know that? Who told you that? But we give them a printout of all the complaints. And it's a very, very simple system, and people are, I probably got cussed out more than the average person, because people don't, a lot of people think if they don't see me, I don't go there anymore. And this will stop business from losing customers because people are, once they burn you out, they'll go here, they're burning a lot of businesses out. So I'm trying to stop this. The CMS, we're stopping that. We know who's the bad debtors. And when I say bad debtor, we're talking about people that refuse to pay. And see, a lot of people get that mixed up. We're all in debt. I'm in so much debt. I'm on my toes, but it's
But it's a willingness to be able to pay back what your obligations are.
And keep your score positive.
And that's the key part. So what do you hope, I mean, obviously you want more businesses to know that this system exists so they can be able to access it. What is the charge in terms of being able to access the information?
Well, what I did for years, I was given information free, but now I can't afford it. So there's a $3 charge per hit. And the Chamber of Commerce is my partner in this venture, because I need the chamber, I want the chamber to be there because I would like to go through the whole CARICOM in the Caribbean, chamber to chamber to chamber, and that will make it real easy to set up.
Now, who can access the information?
Any registered business with the
So in
license.
other words, an individual can't go and say,
you can
please look into this
You
person.
can go in there with your social security card and we will give you a printout
of your
information. We're very tight on just giving out names. No, if you're not, we don't just give names out like that. That's
and it has to be
personal, private. That's confidential.
Precisely, and the business has to be registered.
Yes.
And working within some sort of institution that provides credit.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, but we have people who call on people that's gonna just getting a job, employment. Because you got a person that, can you trust him? He just go get credit and walk away, get credit and walk away. Can you really trust this person in your business? So we use it for employment. People have came that were renting and leasing property. So people use it for different, other than just giving credit at establishment.
Okay. What do you hope that Belizeans would be? I'm sure there are tons of misconceptions about having a complaint system set up, and I'm pretty sure I would have suspected that you're not a very liked person when people know what services you offer. But what would you hope that people would be able to understand about the benefits of having this information available?
It's going to create jobs. It's going to create markets that we never dreamed of, because this system can make, as I say, the light manufacturer. We can make spoons, forks.
Yeah.
You know, we have, all we need is the person that, the incentive to do it, because CMS is gonna open up the market. All we need is the people that want to do it. I was telling a young man, if I was a carpenter, I would make collapsible caskets or collapsible coffins so I can send them around the Caribbean. There's a lot of things, but we're gonna have to start thinking out of the box. We can't just think of, oh wow, cruising around on the internet trying to see what someone else is doing. No, think. We can think good in Belize. So all we have to do is create things and just do it.
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we wrap this segment up?
I just hope that this crime, what's really hurting us is crime. Crime is something that if we didn't have crime, Belize is great as it is. And if each person said good day and picked up a piece of paper every day, this would make Belize a better place. And
positive. Very, very positive.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you for coming in and sharing with us the idea behind the complaint system. Very key to it is that businesses can be able to access the information, and that if you want to know what information there is in the system about you, you can also go with your social security card. That has a cost if I want it personally for me?
Yes, there's a $5 cost.
You can be able to access that information and just find out what is on record for you, although we do know whether or not.
A lot of people get it and just hoping that they didn't turn my name in.
All right, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap up, so stay tuned.